That is the new Smart #3, and unlike me, it's quick, it's trendy, and it's fun to spend time in. But first, let's talk price and range, and there are 3 flavors of this car. It starts with the entry-level one, that's 70 grand and does 435 k's on a charge, or then you can get the mid-range spec, goes a little further, costs a little more. But this one here, this is the spicy one. This is the 85 grand one. Sure, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but if you were to buy one of these today, you would find yourself driving one of the quickest hatchbacks in the world. First things first, we need to address the name, and yes, you do actually pronounce the hashtag in Smart #3, which, let's be honest, it is a bit cringy. It's kind of like when you really botch up a handshake. One thing that's not cringy though is the name BRABUS plastered all over the car. That means that the tuning house BRABUS, they've had a play with it. They've not only given it their own aesthetic elements, but they've also taken it to task with putting in more power. This thing is a beast, but you wouldn't know it. Driving around Auckland City, it's relatively docile, kind of like a sloth on Valium, but the minute I were to put my foot down, it would become a caffeinated kitten. It would get brutal very quick, and I'm going to test that later, I promise, stay tuned, but right now, it's a very pleasant place to be. That being said, you do get hints every now and then that this is not your average car. Like when you come to a stop, you'll hear that the brakes, they're very grabby. Even when you just touch the brakes, it stops. There's some big brakes, big calipers in this car. It wants to stop. It's also, as you can feel on little speed bumps like this, it's quite firm. It's not uncomfortably firm, but it does remind me of the first generation Tesla Model 3 or maybe the MG4 X-Power. It's just got a little bit of firmness to it, but it's not uncomfortable. It has come a long way from the first generation of smart car. You know the one, we've all made fun of it, that weird little 2-seater thing. They did actually make an electric version of that called the Smart ED. No, it doesn't stand for that. It stands for Electric Drive Grow Up, but this is quite a different beast. That was sort of fun and playful. This is kind of serious. It's all grown up now. This car is a joint venture between Mercedes-Benz and Geely. It's a 50-50 partnership, and the result is something quite different. It's no longer that little 2-person wardrobe that you saw in Europe all those years ago. This one is aimed squarely at the sort of person who might buy a Mini or a BMW 1 Series. And I've got to say, I can see why. On that note, let's talk tech specs, and there are 3 variations of the car, as I mentioned. There is the Pro Plus, the entry-level version. Then there is the Premium. Then, of course, there is this one, the BRABUS. Now, all 3 share the same 66 kilowatt-hour battery pack, so they've all got fairly similar ranges, but none of those are slow. This one, however, well, it's a little spicier, isn't it? It's got 2 electric motors totaling 315 kilowatts, which means the 0 to 100 time, wait for it, supposedly is 3.7 seconds. This is why I love electric power, man. I mean, sure, it's stupidly grunty and powerful, but it's also really, really quiet and really efficient. It costs almost nothing to run. It's everything a high-performance combustion engine can never be. It's absolutely brilliant. And there is also a #1 variant of this car, which I'll be picking up in a couple of weeks. So if you want to see that review, hit the subscribe button. It's coming soon. Excuse me. Oh, crikey. I'm in comfort mode, and I didn't even put my foot down that hard. This thing is dangerous. Let's talk design now though, and looking at the exterior of the car, even though I'm not a qualified Mercedes-ologist, the input from Mercedes on this design is obvious. I mean, look at that rear light cluster for a start. From side on, it looks pure Mercedes. In fact, the whole back of the car, the way it swoops down, it is all very European. Honestly, I much prefer this design than the Smart #1. This has got a much more sweeping design. The #1, it's sort of got an abrupt stop to it. It looks like it's got trapped wind. This being the BRABUS edition though, it's obvious it's got those BRABUS highlights. Lots of red accents all around the exterior of the car. You've got that cool front grille that looks black when you're front on, but the moment you walk up to it, you suddenly notice that the insides are all red. It looks pretty cool for people walking by. Same goes for the red accents on the skirts. Same goes for the red accents on the rear spoiler. And of course, you've got the word BRABUS slapped everywhere. Also, this one has 20-inch wheels, which look very, very cool. And of course, look at those brake calipers I mentioned earlier. They are striking. This car just shows everyone that it means business. It's the same sort of thing in the interior as well. You've got the red accents everywhere. You've got red stitching on the steering wheel, plus the word BRABUS in big letters. If you haven't noticed though, you've also got a big B for BRABUS on the headrests, but if you've got tech nerds and non-car people in the car, just tell them it means Bitcoin. They won't know. Besides, unlike Bitcoin, this thing will do everything it can not to crash. The dashboard design is very different though, and I'm not sure I like it. I mean, it's very swish. The entire thing is like a giant T shape, with a three-eyed robot with a screaming mouth right in front of you. Ah! Let's move on to comfort and space, starting with the material you are sitting on. And if you get the Pro Plus, the entry-level version, you will be sitting on the finest leatherette, which is fake leather. Then if you get the premium one, you end up sitting on actual leather. But if you were to get the BRABUS, this one, you will find your derriere cushioned on ultra suede. And I've got to say, it is very, very comfortable. There's also some good support in the seats as well. Not so good if you are a girthier person, but if you're normal sized, you'll find sitting in this really, really comfortable. Also, it should be great on the corners, stay tuned. All three variants of the Smart #3 come with 10-way electronically adjustable seats, which are very comfortable. And ingress and egress is pretty good. Considering it's got a battery pack underneath the car, it props the seats up a little bit. So even at its lowest setting, it's still 62 centimeters off the ground, which means you just get in and out super easily, which is great if you are, like me, 8,000 years old with a failing back. As for head height and leg room, there is heaps of leg room. No worries if you're 6.5 feet tall, like I'm 5'10" or 178 centimeters, same height as Taylor Swift, believe it or not, and I have heaps of legroom, heaps of headroom above my head as well. So Taylor, if you're watching this car, you will fit in no worries. There's also lots of room laterally. Like, there's so much distance between the door and my knee and so much distance between the dashboard and my knee. Same goes for the back seat. If you are watching this, Taylor Swift, you will fit in the back of there easily. Look at the headroom you've got, look at the legroom you've got. You've also got vents back there. You've got 2 USB chargers, a USB-C and a USB-A back there, plus a little bit of storage and a really, really flat floor, which gives you the impression that the car is much bigger than it is, although it is quite a big car. It's not like the first generation, as we pointed out. Moving further back into the boot, well, it opens up automatically just by waving a pasty neon white leg in front of it, and it will reveal 270 litres of capacity, which it's not big, to be honest, although it does have a false floor, so you've got a bit more storage underneath. And if you are watching this, Taylor Swift, and you do plan on travelling in the back of your Smart #3, you will fit in there just. But wait, there's more. Let's say you need more space. Well, the back seats do fold down. However, that rear parcel shelf, I couldn't for the life of me make it fit underneath the boot floor. Sorry, you're just going to have to find a place to stow it. If you can find a place to stow it, though, you'll find that there is a reasonable amount of room in the back with the seats down. Now, I couldn't find the actual number on Smart's website or in the spec sheet, which leads me to believe either they don't think it's very important for Smart #3 buyers, or it's so bad they didn't want to put it in. Basically, yes, you could take this car camping and lie down on the back, but it would have to be one person at a time, and that person would have to put their head between the front seats, and if they're an idiot like me, they'll likely hit their head on the center console. What about a fartment or front compartment on the Smart #3? Well, yes, if you pop the bonnet on this beastie, you will find a 15-litre front compartment. Not a lot, but enough room for a charging cable or maybe a tyre repair kit. Let's move on to gadgets now, starting with what's right in front of me, the centrally mounted display. It is a 12.8-inch touch screen display. That's a really hard thing to say. And it controls all the car's features. It's also quite playful. Now, when I first got in here and saw the menu, I thought, oh, is this a bit of an AliExpress Temu special because it's so colourful? But no, once you dive through the menu, it's really logical. It's just playful and fun. And I think that is Geely's influence, not Mercedes, because Mercedes, well, their infotainment systems have always been quite serious, quite German. It's also got an AI assistant. You can choose between a fox or a cheetah. I've gone with old Foxy here, and apparently the AI assistant is relatively smart, but I'm wary of AI because in my experience, it's not very smart. Like once I asked AI to replicate that famous image from the Bible of Jesus flipping over the tables, and it came out with something quite literal. Yep, so let's see how well this works.
How can I help?
Turn on seated heats.
Station not found.
Not
Please
seated
try.
hits. It's a Kiwi accent, hang on. Take 2.
What would you like me to find for you now?
Turn on seated heats.
Okay, turning on driver seat heating.
Yes, it speaks Gavin! As for the instrument cluster right in front of me, it's got a 9.2-inch display, which is also colour and looks pretty good. And no matter where you put the steering wheel, which is fully adjustable, it doesn't block the display. That is brilliant, because a lot of cars, they'll obscure the display. Not this one. This car also has fake engine noises. Let me go and turn them on. We've got Smart Original. Sounds kind of fun. Classical. Sounds better than that Honda Civic. Interstellar. It sounds ridiculous. What about Explore? Ooh, I like Explore. One minor complaint I have though is that because, like many cars, everything's done through the touchscreen display, it means that there are no buttons. There's a handful on the steering wheel, but not very many. And it means that you're gonna have to learn to use voice commands or learn to take your eyes off the road and figure out where all the menu options are. When I come to power, car makers will be required to put buttons for everything. Yes, I know it will look like an 80s hi-fi, but I promise you we'll have fewer crashes, fewer distractions. Kind of makes me wonder how our current obsession with touchscreen everything will look in like 10, 15 years from now. Will we all go touchscreen, or will we all go back to buttons? Or will it be a mix of the two? I don't know. I wonder if touchscreen everything will become really all out of fashion. You know, like vinyl roofs were on cars for a while. Now they're tragically unfashionable. Or that time I tried to make spicy baby food. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. This big display though is really useful for the 360-degree bird's eye camera system, which would be great if you're a bird, which is impossible because, as we all know, birds aren't real. The Smart #3 also comes with a mobile app which tells you the basic information of your car, your state of charge, all that stuff. Now it is available now, but it's still being fine-tuned. On that note, this car does not have over-the-air software updates. It may change in the future, but I cannot say yes or no for certain. It does, however, have wireless phone charging in a pretty convenient location. It's hidden in the dashboard, and it does fit my phone, which is kind of long and weirdly shaped, but it fits it in there nicely. It's also got USB charging through here, and it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it's both wireless. It also has a really kicking sound system. Like, it's got a 10-speaker sound system made by Beats. And honestly, I've heard some really good sound systems. This one is excellent. It really brings to life my Generation X 80s playlist. Christopher Cross sailing has never sounded so good. I want to save the best gadget to last though, and that is vehicle to load. Supposedly, this car is going to have vehicle to load. Apparently, the adapters are on the way. We don't have any word on pricing or availability just yet, but stay tuned. Vehicle to load, I've been told, is coming for this car. Around town though, this thing feels right at home. It is zippy, it's confident, it's comfortable, it's not too firm, it's not too loud, but what's it like on the highways? How much electricity does it use? And of course, how much fun is it in the corners? Well, let's go find out. As we get on the motorway, the first thing I notice about this car is how twitchy and lively it is, and that's because it's got big fat tires, a lot of contact with the ground, which means that every little movement on the steering wheel results in a change in direction in the car. It's such a lively little thing. It's also got really grippy brakes, I mentioned that already, which means that if you just touch the brakes, oh, it wants to stop. It really wants to stop. It feels like a caged animal. It's kind of out of place in rush hour traffic. Feels kind of like, you know, when Snoop Dogg did that high T, that British high T, and yeah, he did a great job. Snoop Dogg's the man, but he did look out of place. I do have one early complaint about the car that I've noticed already though. Now, I've turned the regen braking down to low, but it's still noticeable the lag when you take your foot off the accelerator to when the car starts to slow down with regen braking. There's like half a second of delay. So if I take my foot off, oh, I can feel the regen kicking in a little bit. Just wish they could make it more like a Tesla in that as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, immediately the regen slows you down. It's more predictable and relatable. This one feels a little bit lethargic. But now that I'm on the motorway, I'm going to change the driving modes. There's a big button saying driving mode. If I press that, you've got options between eco mode, you've got comfort mode, you've got sport mode, and then you can select BRABUS mode. All right, so apparently now it's pretty angry, but I'm in traffic. I can't... What the hell was that? That's insane. I am not ready for that. But now that we're in a 100 zone on the motorway, I'm going to turn on the adaptive cruise and the lane centering so the car can do all the driving for me. See how hard it is to turn on. Oh, that's it. Well, it's a bit easier than a Mercedes or a BYD. That's obviously Geely doing that. They're just one push of a button and it's on. Is it doing the steering for me as well? Yes, it is. All right. We'll just let it do the hard work. It's quite smooth too. It's not being jerky or erratic. It's not being nomadic and going all over the lane like, well, MG looking at you. This is good. This is Mercedes influence, but Geely usability. Right now though, we've just entered a slice of coarse chip road and we're doing 100 k's an hour because I want to see how loud the cabin noise is. Now, German cars often suffer on our coarse chip roads because they're never designed for it. This one, actually it's not bad. That's all very cool, very well and good, but really want to know what it's like to put my foot down
in BRABUS mode
and how this thing handles the corners. Let's go find an empty slice of road, put it into BRABUS mode and see what happens. And this is it, the moment you've been waiting for. I have an empty slice of road in front of me, no other cars. Let's do a 0 to 100 test. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's quite well behaved. Fire, oh, it ramps up. Oh, that's fantastic. Absolute lunacy. It's really well behaved though. I expected it to be a bit more raw, like a Tesla Model 3 Performance or the MG4 X-Power, but no, this is a very well-behaved car. That Mercedes is showing through there. Oh, God, Lord, this thing is mental, man. Okay, I know, my top secret driving road is just over there. I have to see how this thing handles. Well, let's find out. I'm on my top secret driving road in the middle of nowhere. I have the road to myself, and I've got the car in BRABUS mode, and already going around the corners, it feels like it's at home. Like, it's surprising how well it handles the corners, considering how long the wheelbase is. That's the distance between the front and the rear wheels. In this car, it's 2,785 millimeters, which, I mean, that's long. Like my old 1986 Toyota Cressida, that had a shorter wheelbase than this, believe it or not. But this thing really feels at home. Yeah, granted, on the highway, there are more comfortable cars to drive in than this. But for around the city and for performance, this is so much more fun. What's striking is how good it feels and how secure it feels. And part of the reason is it's so low to the ground. Like, I put the tape measure underneath it earlier on today, and it's 16 centimeters off the ground, the battery pack, which means it hugs the road like a limpet mine. It just doesn't want to let go, and those tires really come into play. It's also got a really impressive suspension system. It's got BRABUS springs on it, so it really feels a bit more secure in the corners. It feels safe. Also, I should point out, it recently underwent its Euro NCAP safety testing, and it got 5 stars. It is basically a safety cage on wheels that just happens to have airbags and air conditioning. Oh, and a kicking stereo system, man. It makes these corners kind of boring. I know that's a weird thing to say, but normally in most cars, these corners are hair-raising. This car just eating it up. I feel like I need an extra challenge, or maybe a racetrack for this car, because it's just not even breaking a sweat. Okay, so it's no secret that this thing loves the corners. It's dripping with grunt. It's got 543 Newton meters of torque, which means you can just power out of any situation with no turbo lag like in a combustion vehicle. It just wants to go. But there's much more to this car than just gadgets and cornering. We need to know what its efficiency is like, what its charging speed is like, and of course, how many potatoes does it hold in its dashboard? So without further delay, let us do the Spud Score. Starting with performance, and its 0 to 100 time is not bad at all. This thing disappears quicker than me when the bill arrives, so 8 out of 10 spuds there. Handling's next, and it's excellent. With its BRABUS springs, low center of gravity, and large tires, I give it 8 out of 10. Sadly, however, it's sacrificed some comfort in order to corner so well, making it pretty firm in the city, and those high-performance brakes are very grabby, so I'm giving it 5 out of 10 for comfort. Let's talk efficiency now, and it's pretty sleek, using only 18.6 kilowatt hours despite driving it realistically on highways at speed. This means you'll likely get around 330 k's on a charge on the open road and around 400 k's per charge in the city, so 7 spuds there. Gadgetry's next, and it doesn't disappoint. It's got it all, 8 spuds. But is it good value? Well, it's not the cheapest EV you can buy, but it's not that bad in terms of funky style, performance, handling, and toys, so I'm giving it 6 spuds. As for charging speed, it's above average. I used one of ChargeNet's 300 kilowatt hyper rapid chargers to charge the car to 80%, which is normal on a road trip, and it took just 28 minutes, which is about the same as a base model Tesla, so 7 spuds. But what about style? Well, I kinda like it. Granted, its roofline drops down harder than my standards on a Saturday night, but it just adds to the car's Mercedes-esque-ism. Yep, that's a word. 7 out of 10. But is it fit for purpose? Well, yeah, sure. I mean, it's got heaps of room. It goes faster than most cars you can buy today. It handles better too. It's got every option imaginable, and it's playful, although its colourful user interface does look to be stolen from Temu. But it's got an 8-year, 160,000 K warranty on its battery, and it can even tow 1.6 tons. Not bad overall. 9 spuds. But it's the PSC which obviously matters most when buying any new car, and I'm excited to announce that testing's revealed the car to have a PSC of 91 despite its modest dimensions, which gives the Smart #3 BRABUS a total spud score of 68. And there you have it. That's the guts of the Smart #3 BRABUS edition, the spicy one. All in all, a very enjoyable car to drive at speed around corners, plenty of gadgets. But if you want something a little more sensible and down to earth, stay tuned, because in a few days I will be picking up the Smart #1, the normal version, the entry level version, which apparently is much more affordable, much more sensible. But is it anywhere near as good? Well, we're going to find out. Hit that subscribe button, press that like button. We'll see you in the next video.